Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Purchaser Information Session for Seasons and Seasons 2. We're just going to give everyone just a few moments to join us this morning, but while we wait for them, we'll just go over a few notes for today's presentation. In order to see the presentation a bit more clear, just be sure to put this into speaker mode, and if you do have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to type them in the chat, as we will be doing a Q&A session at the end. We also just want to let you know the duration of this presentation will be about 30 minutes. And thank you so much for joining us. We do have a special announcement here from Isaac. He's our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, so I'll hand it over to him.
Thank you, Dave. Good day, and thank you very much for tuning in, all purchasers. And thank you for purchasing at the Seasons. Now, there's a special announcement I'd like to kind of bring across to all purchasers in the beginning. And so, we believe that it's actually, very common and questions that you would have, and we're willing to address it from the get-go. Okay? And so the first special announcement relates to an unavoidable delay. Now, we had sent out an unavoidable delay notice last week, and you should have all received it through your emails. Now, a number of factors have made the completion of the project more challenging. COVID disruptions, supply chain issues, labor shortages all contributed to putting stress to the completion schedules. The latest, however, relates to a union strike that is province-wide and is impacting the delivery of our building to all the purchasers. And hence, as of last Friday, we sent out an unavoidable delay notice to all the purchasers informing of the situation. As well as letting you know that the previously set occupancy date assigned to a unit would need to be rescheduled to a later time when we're able to see the situation more clearly, so that won't be no longer impacting the closing of your suite. Now, our teams are constantly paying attention to the status of the situation, and we're doing our best to get the building as ready and as complete as possible to you. We hope that this disruption is only going to be a matter of several weeks of delay, and as soon as we're able to have an update to establish a new occupancy schedule with you, our teams will do so immediately. Now, this takes us to our second special announcement, and that is, with all these moving parts, there's actually a likelihood that the new firm occupancy date will become the final closing date. Let me repeat. So there's a likelihood that the new firm occupancy date will become the final closing date. What this means is that there may not be any interim closing period. Okay. Now, normally, assignments are taking place after you have completed the interim closing or the firm occupancy. So with the likelihood that there's no interim closing, what does it mean to your assignments? So in such a scenario, we would send out an email notice to all the purchasers informing of this assignment period, so that we can start processing any assignment request. Okay. We think that these are common questions and concerns that you may have, and we wanted to bring to your attention right in the beginning. Now, there are other closing details we want to go through with you. So if there's questions, as Dave mentioned earlier, please address it by typing your questions in English into the chat box, so that our team can collect the questions and we'll try to answer it towards the end.
Great, thanks Isaac for that update. And thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. And we're gonna begin our presentation now. This overview will provide you with some insight as to what topics we will cover in this presentation. We hope to help you smoothly transition to your new home. By now, you would have received your pre-closing package in the mail, which features some important information you will find useful prior to your occupancy. A letter from Prompton Real Estate Services regarding their rental management services. We will be hearing more from Prompton later in this presentation. A list detailing preferred Toronto area legal services for you to use during your closing period. A solicitor information sheet. Once you've selected your preferred legal service, please fill out the necessary information and send it back using the prepaid return envelope. Lastly, there will be an exclusive offer from our communication provider, Rogers, only for Seasons and Seasons 2 residents. Our next topic will be regarding the pre-delivery inspection. The health and safety of our homeowners, staff, and construction trades continues to be a top priority for Concord. In light of the extraordinary circumstances presented by this ongoing pandemic and in support of public health directives, we have modified our approach to conducting pre-delivery inspections. As you are aware, Concord has retained a professional inspection company to conduct the PDIs on behalf of the homeowners. Prior to your occupancy date, you will receive an email from Concord Customer Care, including the following: a narrated video orientation of how to conduct a PDI inspection, which we have placed in this presentation, a personalized video of your suite, an inspection report listing all in-suite deficiencies, if there are any, a copy of your certificate of completion and possession, and a link to the Tarion homeowner information package detailing your warranty coverage. When picking up your keys, one of our customer care officers will request that you complete your own inspection of your suite to confirm or supplement the list with anything else you consider to be a warrantable deficiency within 48 hours of completing your firm occupancy. Our next topic we will cover is regarding closing. We know that this is a very important purchase. We would like to make sure you receive all the necessary information. Approximately 1 to 2 weeks prior to the date of occupancy, your solicitor will receive your closing package from our solicitor for all the necessary items needed to proceed with your closing. Prior to your occupancy date, there are a few things that need to be in place, which include the following: be sure that your homeowner's insurance has been secured, set up your account for your hydro services through your solicitor to ensure that you have hydro set up before you occupy your suite. If you already have a day in mind which you would like to move in, you can now call property management at the listed number on the slide to book your time slot now. To ensure a smooth closing process on the day of, be sure that all closing procedures have been completed by your solicitor. And lastly, be sure that you have set up the necessary funds to be released to Concord's solicitor. Once our law office confirms that all necessary information and documents have been received, they will inform us that your keys can now be released. And a representative from Concord will contact you to inform you that you may now proceed to the building to collect your keys. Key pickups will occur in the main lobby at 85 and 95 McMahon Drive, Monday to Friday between the hours of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Additionally, if you cannot attend between those hours, you may also collect your keys Monday to Friday between 5 to 9 p.m. from the concierge desk. If for some reason you are unable to collect your keys, you can also assign a friend or a family member to collect them on your behalf, using what's called a key direction form through your solicitor. Our customer care officers will be waiting for your arrival in the lobby and will release your suite keys along with the following items: mailbox keys, common area keys if applicable, fobs to access your building, and all pertinent Tarion warranty information. Any additional handover materials such as manuals for various elements of your suite, and lastly, your welcoming gift. Due to the capacity and social distancing rules, we recommend only one person from each household to collect your keys. Additionally, all key pickups will occur in the main lobby. The closest intersection is Provost Drive and Esther Shiner Boulevard. We will have signage and security guards placed in key locations to guide you to the garage entrance. Please proceed down the ramp to the first level of visitor parking, where we will have placed signage in some reserved parking spaces designated for key pickups, as shown in the photo on this slide. Our next topic will be regarding your Tarion warranty. As discussed previously, we encourage all owners to submit their own PDI inspection within the first 48 hours from your firm occupancy date. Any items that you deem warrantable can be submitted here. These can be submitted via email at concord8xcc@concord8x.com. One of our customer care representatives will respond to let you know we have received your list, and they will inform you to include this list on your Tarion 30-day form as well. Your Tarion 30-day form is due to be submitted within the first 30 days of your occupancy date, with any items from your third-party inspection that may have not been completed as yet, as well as your own PDI list items. In order to submit your form, you must register on the Tarion website under the My Home section. Once your form is submitted, it is reviewed by our warranty department, and any repairs as necessary will be scheduled by our customer care administrator. You will follow the same procedure for submitting your Tarion year-end form. The year-end is to be submitted within the last 30 days of your first year of occupancy. Lastly, if there are any emergency items that cannot wait till the 30-day form submission, you may fill out an emergency request from your concierge desk, and we will have one of our customer care maintenance coordinators review this issue. Lastly, we're just going to show a preview of our homeowner's manual. Our homeowner's manual will be available on our website as previewed in this slide. The manual will feature a section on in-suite care, which will include videos, explanations on how to care for your home in all different areas. There will be a section on home setup, including setting up your communication provider, your moving elevator, and your utilities. Most importantly, it will feature warranty information, as well as the manuals for your appliances. I now wish to welcome Joanna from our sales admin team to cover some topics with regards to contracts, amendments, and parking and lockers.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, I'm Joanna. Our office receives many requests for title direction and amendments. Here are some general guidelines to keep in mind. Our office will have no problem providing an amendment to insert one of the following categories: spouse, immediate family, so this includes parents, children, and grandparents. Unfortunately, cousins, aunts, and uncles are not considered. Company is also allowed so long as the purchaser is a director. Please note there is an amendment fee in order to facilitate the title change. Friendly reminder, there is a fee for each amendment requested. Please note the fee will be charged on final closing. Depending on the terms of your agreement of purchase and sale, the fee is typically $500 plus HST per amendment. To confirm the fee for your specific unit, please contact our team accordingly. Friendly reminder, once a name has been added, it cannot be removed. Please be certain when requesting title changes. In any case, please note supporting documents are required. If you have any questions in regards to title direction or amendments, please contact our sales admin team at salesadmin.ny@concordadex.com. Please be sure to include your suite number for efficient service. In regards to parking and locker, we currently have a limited supply of tandem parking units available at the Seasons condos. Tandem parking units can accommodate 2 vehicles bumper to bumper. The approximate dimensions of tandem parking units are 36 feet in length and 9 feet in width. The price for one regular tandem parking unit is $100,000. If you're interested in purchasing a tandem parking unit, please contact parking.locker@concordadex.com for more details. Please note, all lockers and other types of parking, including regular parking and EV parking, are currently on wait list status. If you're interested in purchasing a tandem parking unit or would like to be included on the parking or locker wait list, kindly contact parking.locker@concordadex.com.
Hi, my name is Yolanda, and I am one of the leasing and property managers at Prompton Real Estate Services. Prompton Real Estate Services is a proud member of the Concord Pacific Group of companies, and we are a full-service brokerage who work with clients locally and globally. We are a team of dedicated and highly trained professionals in the Toronto region, and we offer a wide range of services, including real estate sales, leasing, and property management. Prompton has been establishing our footprint in the leasing and property management sector for 20 years, and we have an impressive portfolio of about 500 units currently under our management throughout downtown Toronto and the Greater Toronto area. We are so excited for you to experience Seasons by Concord ADEX, the most luxurious condominiums in North York. In our celebration with you, Prompton is offering our valued clients 1 month's management fee for free in Seasons condominiums when you enroll in a new rental management program with us on or before June 15th, 2022. Seasons is a part of Concord's Park Place, which is a master planned community in North York. At Prompton, we are experts in this community, and we manage hundreds of units in Park Place, thanks to our partnership with Concord. Our agents are knowledgeable with Concord buildings and the market surrounding Park Place. So whether you reach out to us for sales, leasing, or property management, Prompton helps you invest in your future. When you entrust Prompton for your leasing needs, our specialized leasing team members will facilitate and support you throughout the entire process. First, we provide recommendations with detailed support to set the most optimal rental prices based on the current market conditions. Then, your property will be marketed using effective marketing tools, such as using our social media platforms for further outreach. When we receive inquiries, we work extensively with you to screen the prospective tenants by conducting appropriate reference checks, employment, and credit checks for excellent tenant selection. Once you have chosen a preferred tenant, we liaise with tenants and building management with regards to showings, key exchange, and inspections. Of course, we also prepare and complete any and all real estate rental related documents on your behalf during this process. For the process of securing a new tenant, there will be a commission fee of 1 month's rent. Our rental management program consists of a plethora of benefits for owners, both local and international alike. Our property management team consists of representatives with knowledge and expertise in the Residential Tenancies Act when we represent landlords like yourselves and coordinate with our tenants. We aid in coordinating all home and maintenance and repairs with access to our large network of reliable and professional contractors. Owners will also enjoy our competitive homeowners insurance with a low annual premium and assistance with filing income tax, paying expenses such as condominium fees, property tax, and other related fees. Additionally, for international homeowners, we assist with withholding tax submissions and ensure that your monthly payments are submitted to the Canada Revenue Agency. If you are a new build homeowner, additionally to the benefits previously mentioned, we are also able to assist with your HST rental rebate with our connections to our professional tax accountants. Our experienced team will handle Tarion and other warranty-related services on your behalf, such as registrations, 30-day and year-end inspections, and follow up on any in-suite outstanding deficiencies following Tarion regulations. If any step requires tenant cooperation, our team professionally coordinates with tenants for proper procedures, such as suite entry, in order to ensure that your goals are met. If you would like to join our rental management program and claim your 1 month's free management fee at Seasons Condominiums, or if you just need any standalone leasing, selling, or buying support, please contact us directly at 416-883-3888 or info@prompton.ca. We have 2 conveniently located offices. One downtown office is located at 357 Front Street West in Toronto, and our normal office hours are 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends. Our uptown location is at 1 Singer Court in North York, and our normal office hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends. We look forward to providing you with quality real estate and rental management services.
Okay. So I think there are more details that we'd like to provide related to assignments, right? So I'll pass it over to Joanna.
So as Isaac mentioned earlier, an assignment period will be announced in the future. In regards to assignment, all assignments will be prepared on the vendor's standard assignment and consent form. There are a few assignment fees associated in this project. You can refer to the slide on the screen for the different fees in this building. To find out the exact fee associated with your suite, please contact our admin team. We also want to highlight that any monetary credits, cap amendments, or other financial incentives are not transferable with assignments. So again, we really want to highlight that these incentives are non-transferable. Also, as per your agreement, there is a no advertisement on MLS rule. So any violation will be subject to a $3,000 plus HST penalty that will be charged on your final closing statement.
Okay. Joanna, allow me to expand on that. For the credits and some of these things, they are not transferable through the assignment. So hence, there is a situation where, sorry for that. That's what happens when a live virtual session, right? Okay, so as I was saying, these, whether that be development caps or closing credits or something like that, these are not transferable through an assignment. We often get these kind of questions, so it's important that you register that. Okay. Number two, the reason many clients and realtors ask about why we don't allow postings on MLS before closing, and one of the a primary reason to that relates to the fact that we had this experience before where there might be realtors or purchasers that might be of a different situation where they may even post a much lower price on MLS. And as a result, the bank appraisers kind of pick up on this kind of statistics and data, and it ends up affecting the bank appraisals. So that's one of the primary reasons why we don't allow others to kind of make these kind of postings on MLS. Now, occasionally you may see us in the past to make these postings, and that is because we actually purposely want to create a revised benchmark price to register on MLS so that it can help with bank appraisals, so that the bank appraisers can kind of see the transaction to these buildings on MLS, and as a result be able to help facilitate the mortgage process better for all purchasers. Okay.
Thank you both for that important information. So thank you all so much for participating in the session. We also, we're going to start with our Q&A. We received quite a few questions, but we do have a couple questions that we do want to go over that are something that's commonly asked. So the first question is regarding key pickups. So if you're not in the country, how can you request that somebody pick up your keys on your behalf? So this is something that's commonly done. It can be done remotely as well. So if you have a trusted family member, friend, or your agent, if you'd like them to pick up your keys, all you have to do is fill out what's called a key release direction form through your solicitor. It will then be sent to our solicitor, just so that we're aware of who is actually collecting the keys. So that's no problem at all. We do have a question regarding admin charges. So this is for Yolanda. This is there any admin charge by rental management service or real estate leasing services?
Right, thank you, Dave. So there will be some miscellaneous admin charges on top of our rental management charge. This is dependent on each owner's needs. We do have a lot of different services for both overseas owners and local owners. So for example, if you wanted us to file income tax for you or overseas tax, there will be a small admin charge per owner. And also continuing regarding real estate leasing charges, there will be a standard brokerage charge for every new lease, and that is 1 month's rent plus HST.
Great, thanks Yolanda. So now we're going to get into some of your questions. So again, we appreciate the participation. So we have a question from Shabitha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. is there a new firm closing date?
Okay, I'll try to tackle this one. Yes, so I guess this is a result of understanding that there is the unavoidable delay notice that we have sent out. So the unavoidable delay notice overrides any of the previously established closing date, and as a result, the question becomes, well, when is the new closing date, right? So now, because of the strike that's taking place, causing us to send out this notice, we have no control over when the strike would end. And so we hope that the strike would only be resolved in a matter of several weeks. And so upon which we would assess the remobilization schedules and how much it takes to kind of get your suites ready. And so from there, we will be able to send out an end of unavoidable delay notice to purchasers. And from that point, that would give a minimum of 10 days notice to get you to close the suite.
Great, thanks Isaac. So we have a question from Jody Chang. They would like to know, will we receive a link to rewatch this video afterwards? Yes, you will be receiving a link. We will send it out in an email blast, just in case everyone needs to watch it again, or there's any questions that you missed. Okay?
I noticed that a lot of purchasers was even doing screen caps or taking their cameras to kind of record the slides. Not to worry, so all this will be done in a video link. You'll be able to see it afterwards, and if there are more questions or any of the questions that we record here, we'll try our best to kind of even put it into a document so that we can address these questions and answers for you guys.
Great, thank you so much. We have a question from Beta. They would like to know, is it possible to give us an estimate for the delay, at least the month?
Well, I guess again, as we mentioned, the unavoidable delay relates to the strike and overall overrides all previous dates. Okay, we will notify with a minimum of 10 days notice to the purchasers. Now, what I would advise is, that's one of the reasons why we are hosting these info sessions. Why we've sent out an information package allowing you guys to get prepared so that you can register if there is legal services or banking information, so that you can talk to your banks, lock in rates, get qualified, so you can do all this stuff and get as prepared as possible prior to us updating you back with a revised closing date. So hopefully this will help. Now, we have our 10 days minimum, but we will try to be understanding, and if there is certain special circumstances that you're not able to close, let us know the reason so that we can review and assess.
Great, thank you so much. So we do have a question from Jesse. They want to know, they ask if I want to do my own PDI. So we did present in the presentation on PDI section that we did hire a third-party inspection company to do your PDI on your behalf due to the pandemic. So the question is, yes, you can do your own PDI, but this is something that you're going to do after you get your keys. So once you pick up your keys, our closing officers will explain to you that we do recommend that you do your own PDI inspection of your unit. So what I would suggest is just take the list. We will send you the PDI items that were reported. So I would just take that list with you when you come get your keys or within the first 48 hours and just report any new deficiencies that you see that were not maybe reported or are new items or repeated items. Just make sure that you kind of look at that PDI as well, just so that you can not duplicating all of the items.
Right, so the third-party inspector would go into each of the suite and they would perform the deficiencies on behalf of the purchaser already. So there could be a list of certain items that gets listed, and then upon picking up keys, there is the 48 hours that upon picking up keys that they can add on to the list. And so those things are recorded, and from there we can review, assess, and make the appropriate repairs necessary.
So generally, once you've finished making your list of your own PDI, you want to send it to us, customer care, at the listed email, which is concord8xcc@concord8x.com. Just detailing as much detail as possible try to be as exact as possible, just so that we're not mistaking the items. And then we'll definitely have somebody review those items, and you can submit those onto your Tarion 30-day form as well.
I think a common situation we find is, purchasers not knowing where to kind of tell these issues or deficiencies with.
Yeah.
And so again, you mentioned the 48 hours. That's very critical, right? And so right in the beginning, pick up your keys, go into the suite, check on to see whether there's anything that's in addition to what's already written or recorded already, right?
Yes.
And so get that done and submit to the right channels as Dave just described.
Yes. And also, just to elaborate as well, as there may be items that maybe like your water isn't on, or something like that, that's more of an urgent item. That I would suggest to submit from the concierge desk. They will have a request form. It's an emergency request, and then we'll have somebody take a look at that as well. Just, we don't want you to be without water, or if there's some issue that is not, can't wait for your 30-day form as well.
Right. Now, I think by the time that we do the key handover, we would explain all those things again. So we really would encourage the purchasers themselves to go and pick up your keys. So this way, if there's anything, then you are the first pair of eyes that can really see and understand these situations, and then from there, we can do our best to kind of troubleshoot any situations for you.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Isaac. So we have a question from Beta as well. Thank you again for all your questions. So they want to know, how can we book the elevator if we haven't got any update on the firm occupancy date? So initially, you should wait until that date is confirmed for you, because you don't want to book an elevator until you know the date you would like to move in. So currently, you can book the elevator, but again, as I said, I would suggest waiting until you have that firm date. And then the property management company, the number is also in the slides, so you can call them to book the elevator once you've been informed about that. Okay. So we do have a question from Sybil. They want to know, can we use our own legal service?
So in Canada, the closing process is different from province to province. In Ontario, you are required to have a lawyer to facilitate the closing transaction, and the lawyer does have to practice within Ontario. So those are the little rules for the closing.
Now, we send out a welcome package to purchasers recently as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that also included a recommended lawyers list for your reference. If you haven't chosen a solicitor to represent you, we have that available for you to consider.
Yeah. So definitely make use of this time now to explore, research, and and find your lawyer, so that later on, when we send out notice related to your closing, you'll be all ready to go.
Great, thank you guys. So we do have a question from Winnie. They would like to know, when will I be informed about the parking and locker allocation?
So you'll be informed of the parking and locker allocation when you receive your suite keys.
Great. So we do have a question here from Shen. They would like to know if they could request to extend the closing date.
So it is an option to extend or delay the final confirmed closing date. Please note there are penalties and extension fees associated with extending or delaying the firm final closing date. We do understand that some situations are a bit different than others and may require our special attention. So if you have any questions in regards to delays or extensions of your confirmed final closing date, please send us an email to our admin team and we'll be happy to help you.
Great, thanks, Joanna. So we also have a question from Annie. They would like to know, can I remove or delete somebody from my agreement?
So it's not in the vendor's standard practice to remove or delete names from the agreement. It's really dependent on the reason, for example, mortgage requirement. In any case, supporting documents are required and reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Again, if you have any questions, you can always contact our admin team and we'll be happy to help. If you include your suite number and the purchaser name, we'll be able to provide efficient service.
Okay. So Joanna, normally I guess if it's just husband and wife or
a grandparent, a sibling, we'll have no problem inserting them by amendment. So again, that's immediate family.
So a
cousins,
cousin.
aunts, uncles, those are not
No.
considered. So strictly just immediate family or a company as long as one of the purchasers is a director. Any other party, you would have to do an assignment. We wouldn't be able to correct the purchaser names with an amendment.
Great.
Thank you so much. So we do have a question from Lee. They would like to know, is Prompton able to help me sell my property in the future as well?
Yes, so Prompton is a full service brokerage. So that means in addition to leasing and property management, we also have services for selling, buying, and investment as well. And we do offer multiple language support. In addition, all our agents are very knowledgeable about this area, Park Place. Thanks to our partnership with Concord, we have extensive knowledge on Concord buildings as well. So in the future, if you do want to sell your property, we can definitely help you in that area as well.
Okay, great. Thank
So
you.
follow-up one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see the other one there?
Yeah, so
Okay.
there is another question from Jason. Is there any admin charge by rental management service or real estate leasing services? So I answered this question earlier. There may be additional admin charges in addition to our property management fees. So I'll just elaborate on our property management fees this time. So we do have both property management and leasing services to homeowners, both local and overseas. And our property management fee is very competitive. We do have an extensive list of services that we offer for owners and to ensure you have a hassle-free experience with us. And our management fee is 6% of the monthly rent. So for leasing services, also as well, as I mentioned before, there is a fee of 1 month's rent plus tax to find a new tenant. If you would like more information regarding our management fees or leasing fees, please give us an email at info@prompton.ca. Thank you.
I think one of the things, Toronto being a very international town, and we have a small share of purchasers that actually might be purchasing from abroad, and I think one of the things that Prompton is really able to help out with is provide some of this tax reporting service and things with assistance for the owner. So I think that's something that some of our past clients are able to really benefit from, especially when they have such related to Prompton.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, overseas owners also benefit a lot.
Okay, good.
Great, thanks. So we have a question. This is regarding parking a locker. They want to know, will I be able to select the location?
So it's not in our standard practice to allow purchasers to select their allocated parking or locker. The parking or locker allocation is selected by the vendor.
Great, thanks, Joanna. So we have a question from Shar. They would like to know, how can we arrange our mortgage without a date?
Okay. So I think it depends on different banks, I guess, but I'm aware that a lot of banks do allow locking in of rates, qualification up to a certain number of days, whether that be 60 day, 90 day, okay? Now we right now, there's quite a lot of fluctuations right now with interest rates. So I definitely recommend you to start talking to your bank about making mortgage arrangements, okay?
Great, thanks, Isaac. We have a question from MC. They would like to know, if it's only going to be final closing, then what does that mean?
What does it mean? If it only final, okay, if we go straight to final closing, and that is becoming quite a likelihood now. So that means that the condo might actually register. And from there, and yet, the condo might not be overall. No, what this means is that we would there would be no occupancy period. The mortgage would need to be in place before final closing, And so going back to the previous question, I would really suggest you to make sure that you have these various different lawyers and mortgages in place so that you can be prepared for final closing.
Great, thank you, Isaac. So we have a question from Paul. They would like to know how much time do we have after announcing the assignment period to do an assignment?
Okay. Now, again, there's a strong likelihood that we may go straight to final closing. If that is the case, we would make an announcement, send out a letter to inform all purchasers and provide an assignment period. So I'll just put this into perspective. Let's just say maybe next week, we may actually send out an email to purchasers, and we will announce that maybe over a 2-week window, we would accept any assignment request, and from there we would process it. Okay, and so that's how we would process your assignment that way. In the lesser likelihood, where there would still be an interim closing period, then naturally you would have your interim closing, and from there, as long as you submit your assignment request up to 3 weeks before final closing, we'll be able to process it for you before final closing.
Great, thank you so much. So we do have a question from Willa. They would like to know what kind of charges there are to help manage the rental unit, including repairs and communication with the tenant.
Right, so if you do register with our rental management program, it is 6% of the management fee is 6% of the current monthly rent. And as a special promotion, if you do sign up with us for seasons, there is a 1-month management fee for free. So I believe that offer extends until the 15th of June, 2022, but it should have been in a slide that you saw in a previous slide. So yes, it is 6%, and this includes all of the services such as talking with the tenants and coordinating repairs, things like this. We will make it hassle-free for all of the owners, whether you're local or international. And again, we do have a special promotion. If you do sign up with us, the first month management fee is for free. Thank you.
Thanks, Yolanda. So we have a question from Cece. They would like to know, what is the official mailing address with the postal code? So that's a great question. So Seasons, the address for that is 95 McMahon Drive in North York. The postal code is M2K0H2. Seasons 2, which is 85 McMahon Drive, also in North York, and the postal code is M2K0H1. Great. So we do have a question from Bernice. They would like to know, I have my own lawyer in Toronto. Can I use her instead?
Of course, you can use any lawyer you'd like as long as they practice within Ontario. The list that was provided to purchasers is just a suggested lawyers list for purchasers that may need a starting point when finding a solicitor to represent them.
Great, thanks so much for the info there. So we've now reached the end of our Q&A session. So we just want to thank you all so much for participating. If there's any other inquiries that we may have missed or somebody didn't ask, you can contact salesadmin at .netny@concord8x.com for administrative related questions. Also concord8xcc@concord8x.com for any customer care related questions, as well as info@prompton.ca for any Prompton related questions. Thank you so much.
I'd like to add on that how people can reach out, and you are relating to some of these emails. And I think it's important that our purchasers are recognizing these official channels to convey any issues, requests to customer care, to our administration team, or even property management related services through these channels. And we live in a very prevalent social media world where it makes it easy to communicate and just bounce out a message through a chat group or a social media channel. And it's not easy for our team to be able to pick up these responses that way. and have it recorded. And so I do really strongly encourage to make these inquiries through these email addresses as we have mentioned. Okay. Now, towards the end of our session, I want to say thank you again to all the purchasers. You guys made a great purchase to the Seasons condominium. And even though that during this session, we may have given you a couple of news that relate to like these unaffordable delays and situations, which is, if anything, I kind of like to see it as if anything that came out of the pandemic is that some of these temporary disruptions are actually normal. And so, but nonetheless, our team is working very profusely to make sure that we can deliver a good project, a good home, good suite to you. And so we definitely look forward to seeing you guys more in the future, and we hope that this info session has provided good information for you all. Okay, so I think with that, I think we're ready to end the session, right?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a nice
you.
day.